Hello and welcome to the Hoof GP. It is 2022 and this is the first official video of the Hoof GP. I hope you've all had an amazing holiday period, because me and Craig definitely have.
I hope you're looking forward to a whole new year of the Hoof GP.
Because we've been desperate to get back to work, because our houses have been hectic to say the least. Today we're on our way to a farm who are making some huge improvements. They really have gone to town, and I'm going to show you exactly what they've been doing. We're going to look at some of the cow's feet that we're trimming today, and hopefully not find anything too severe. I can hear all the folk right now going, "Ah." Don't worry, there might be something. In this video, we trim almost 60 cows and take a look at cows who have really started to recover. This cow says hello, and this dog wants a lot of love.
And I won't let it rush when I see you dance, and the moment comes when I fall and time goes slow. I fall into you.
This farm is around 45 minutes drive from us. It's not actually that far, but it's down a little tiny wiggly waggly road. It is really, really pretty, but it takes an age to get here because the road is so small. What do we do when somebody comes? We reverse or pull off the road or bash them out of the way, just whatever comes naturally. Anyway, let's take a quick look at what Ratcha Farm was looking like around 6 months ago and what it's looking like today. So this is Ratcha Farm from the air, around a year ago actually, but it still looked like this 6 months ago. As you can see, the cows look happy out in the green grass of home. But some cows are inside, still being fed, because that's the best way to maintain their environment and make sure that their nutritional intake isn't fluctuating all the time, which is bad for cows. This is Ratcha today, and as you can see, there is a very, very large improvement. There's a huge new shed, and that new shed is home to a beautiful new parlour, which isn't quite up and running yet, but very, very soon it will be covered in excrement, because these cows will have a new milking parlour. The guys here at Ratcha are seriously committed to improving the environment for the cows, and that's why there's even a new automatic hoof count foot bath to make their jobs much more easy and make sure that the cows are getting foot bathed every day. Foot bathing is seriously important. If you walked around in poop all day, you would probably want your feet cleaned once a day too, at least. This foot bathing will help to reduce digital dermatitis and fouling the foot. It'll help to condition the hoof horn itself and just make the cows much more comfortable. That, coupled with all these little nice shallow corners, so no tight turns, and the rubber on the flooring, is really going to make a big difference. But not as big a difference as it will to the guys milking the cows, because from now on they'll be spending less than half the time they were actually milking the cows, which means the cows won't be standing around for even half the time they were before, which again
Will help their feet.
happy days. Deer on the commute to work, look. This is traffic in Scotland. Busy highways here.
Say that you won't go. Say that you won't go.
And just like that, we're all set up with the first cow in the crush. And actually, obviously we haven't filmed her because I've just started filming the game, but she's quite an interesting one. This cow had 3 blocks on the last visit we were here. She had 2 very sore front feet and a sore back foot. Back foot has received a new block, but as you can see, it's almost completely healed. She got a deep white line crack here. This is a good start to the day, by the way. This foot here, as you can see, still has her existing block, and she had an ulcer here, which has completely healed. Lovely jubbly. And doesn't she look happy about it? And this foot here, not quite as big a success story, but she had an ulcer 3 here, and now she has an ulcer 2. That's what you call a happy hoof trimmer. Ah, life's good when you achieve that. She's not finished, but she will be soon. And we've not started trimming this last foot, but she had a number 2 white line in here. It looks like she still might have a white line there. Let's find out. Let's just pause that there for a second. Hold on, we'll get back to that in just a second. This video is sponsored by the Ridge Wallet. Don't just skip past this. This is worth listening to. I love my Ridge Wallet. This is the forged carbon one. There's room in the back for cash. It can hold up to 12 cards, although I've only got about 6 in it right now. This one is 6 months old. Because it's so well made, there's not a scratch on it. I absolutely love them. This is the tropical one. They come in over 30 different styles, colours and different materials. They are seriously strong and robust. Old wallets of the past are big and bulky and they're horrible in your pockets. And genuinely, I was always losing mine because I hated having it in my pocket, so I would take it out all the time. You barely even notice these are in your pocket. I prefer the one with the cash clip at the back because I find it more handy, but you can get one with a cash strap like this. Go and check out ridge.com/hoof and you'll get a discount on any of the wallets, plus free shipping. And if you don't like them, you can send them back if they're not for you. They also have a lifetime guarantee, so if you wreck it or break it, whatever, send it back. The quality of these things really, really is tremendous. But don't trust me, there are over 40,000 5-star reviews online. They really are good. For 2022, get yourself a Ridge wallet, because trust me, you won't regret it. And play. Let's find out.
It may sound like an obvious statement, but not all farms' environments are the same, and that has a huge impact on the hoof health and actually the recovery process of a cow's foot. You see, it's not always strictly down to the hoof trimmer how well a cow actually recovers. And luckily in Ratcha's case, the cows make fantastic recoveries here. We do exactly as we trained, and usually the cows heal up nicely, just like it has in this case. Or so we think.
So you can see I've reduced the height of this heel but not touched this, even though it looks kind of scracky and not very nice at all. But it's really important to keep this nice and high to take the weight off this area. She clearly has some bruising in there still, so we'll just model that out. Not the bruising we're getting rid of, it's what's causing the bruising, the extra height. So yes, it looks prettier when we carve away at that bruised and ulcerated hoof horn, but really it's not doing anything. It's getting the weight off it that matters. Right, let's see if this white line is still here or not.
We currently use an app on an iPad which we score the lesions on cows 1 to 4, 1 being perfect and 4 being extremely bad and probably irreversible. In this cow's case, she had a score 2 white line, which means it was substantial and causing her pain, but was not irreversible.
Okay, as you can see, that white line problem has indeed completely fixed. But now we're presented with a problem. We've reduced this so much to get rid of that white line problem. It's a bit thin, so we need to put a block on this inner claw, even though it doesn't really look like there's anything wrong with the outer one. If we don't put a block on there, she'll put 50% pressure on both of these claws almost, and that will result in the problem coming back. So Maestro, block Craig.
No problem, Graham.
In an average week, we probably BoviBond on between 40 and 50 blocks, and we need to make sure they have every chance of sticking possibly. BoviBond is the best glue that I've ever used, but we still need to make sure that the feet are as flat and level as possible, and that all surfaces are as dry as they possibly can be, so that the blocks stick.
Here's a nice little demonstration actually of why you use different blocks. I've told you about why we use wooden ones, because they don't last that long, which is good for short-term problems. But we're going to use this smart block because it's got a very special and unique shape to it. You see it's wedged side to side and front to back, which means it's ideal for problems on the heel. Oh, important, I didn't even know it. I did it again. Craig's going to give this a really good mix-up because it's really cold today, so the glue needs a little extra help to set fully hard. You like it hard, don't you, Craig?
I'll just learn to ignore you, Graham.
And then he'll scoop up round the outside to use that extra glue. You see, and because of this angle backwards, it lifts the heel but not the toe. And because it's tilting side to side, it actually exaggerates how much it's going to lift that outside claw off the ground, even although it only looks like a thin block. Smart, eh? So yes, this cow has got 4 blocks on her feet, but I'm willing to bet they're causing her to walk nice and normally. Hope I'm right. it's dark, but she really is walking pretty much perfectly. Anyway, let's crack on. We've got nearly 70 cows to do today, so we're gonna make a start.
This clip is maybe sped up somewhat, but trust me, it gives you a glimpse into how it feels when we're working flat out.
Hey, now look into my eyes. You can use them as a mirror, baby. You're my ticket to paradise. Hey, now everything's alright. We've been longing for each other, and it feels like I'm on cloud nine.
And just like that, it's coffee time. And I'm glad of it. Oh, it's like 40 cows done. I've only got 20 or so left. And Craigie boy has made the coffee. Thanks, Craigie boy.
You're welcome.
Oh. Just spilt a bit. Oh well. Pikachu says hey.
Actually, Pikachu says Pika.
Pika. Right, let's go around and have a little look and see what the inside of that fancy new shed looks like. Oh, it's maybe cold this morning, but cold winter's mornings are good because it means that big boy comes out. I'm not sure what it is, but it's nice and warm and bright. So this farm milked around 400-ish cows. And right now they're really investing in the boys' future. They're building this to make their lives easy. Or not easy, because it's definitely not easy, but easier than it currently is. So this is the current parlour. It's 12 aside, a little dark and dingy, and it actually takes 5 hours to milk the cows. These parlours have done their day. They've really been amazing for the years that they have milked the cows, but like I say, they've had their day. It's time for a new era. Small exit lanes like this and sharp turns like this aren't good for cows. We're gonna pop over and see what the new one looks like and how it's gonna be much better. Look how nice this is. Clearly it's not finished yet. They've still got about 5 or 6 weeks left of construction, but it is looking really, really good. And I'm chuffed to bits for them, to be honest, because they deserve it. This is a 60-point De Laval stainless steel parlour. The cows walk onto an angle, which helps their feet massively because they don't need to screw round. The area I'm standing on right now is the exit, and it will be covered with EASYFIX rubber sometime soon. Nice and new. Now the parlour is cool, and I'll show you in much more detail once it's completely finished and these cows are using the carousel. But it doesn't really help us now, does it, Craig? No. What does help us is this beautiful race. Oh, so these circular races are fantastic. Cows want to get away. They're herding animals and they're scared of humans, quite frankly, usually. So they like to follow walls to get away. Because they're round, they naturally follow the curvature of the wall all the way around, and that gate swings round behind their bums. Then they go down the race, and our crush will sit right there. It'll basically be the perfect setup. And actually, it'll probably be the best setup that we use. What do you think?
I think it will.
Okay, so that helps us. It helps the farmer because that is his brand new hoof trimming crush, as modelled beautifully by Craig. It may seem counterproductive to my business that I want them to have a good hoof trimming crush. But it's better for the cows, and that's all that matters really. Probably make our lives easier too, because they'll fix the problems as soon as they happen. This part of the build isn't complete yet, but it's going to be a race that goes right the way down here. These sorting gates will shed off the cows automatically, ready for us here. And then we have the creme de la creme. This is a hoof count foot bath, and that automatically measures and pours out the hoof bathing, the liquid into the hoof bath. I've shown you these before, and they automatically fill over there, and then this jets out all of the slurry out the bottom side here and into these slats. So this isn't fully installed yet. There's still another side to go on here. And these sides are really important. They stop the cows from being able to stand on the side, keep all the solution in, and actually encourage the cows forward. It takes the real work away from the farmer and means that these cows will have a fresh, clean hoof bath every single day, or every 100 cows or 200 cows, or whenever is most appropriate for these cows. Anyway, this is looking awesome, but where are they going to sleep? Right now the cows aren't in their new beds, but they will be very soon. It's currently being occupied by their offspring. These heifers. There's a friendly one. Anyway, cup of coffee's finished, so it's back to work for us.
Hey, now look into my eyes. You can use them as a mirror, baby. You're my ticket to paradise.
And just like that, we're on the last cow of the day.
This last cow has unusually long feet for this farm, and this foot has something lurking underneath that inner claw. And now that I've said it, it'll be obvious to you that that indentation above where I've just ground it off is the source of the problem. That white part that's flaking away, a little like powder, is called pith, and it's a good sign. That is where the natural shedding of the hoof horn would be in the wild. And actually, if the climate was more dry, like it is in some parts of America and Australia, that hoof horn would even shed away nicely inside the barn. But here in Scotland, it doesn't, because it constantly pours down, and our environment is much more moist. No matter what is wrong with the cow's foot, or what appears to be wrong with the cow's foot, we always start by balancing the claws up, modelling them out, and then moving on to the problem, which is what we're just about to do. It's very obvious that there is sole separation here. What's less obvious is the extent of it. So we can't just whack our way in, we need to go as carefully as possible and peel away those delicate layers of detached hoof horn. What I should explain is that this cow was not lame before she entered the crush, so I wasn't expecting to find anything major, which is why I'm not going to investigate that crack on her left hand digit. All we would be doing would be putting more pressure onto this one, the one with the detached hoof horn, and we definitely don't want that. Because I've trimmed away so much hoof horn, we're becoming really close to the corium, and I don't want to go any further. So I clean it with my spray to check there's no issues.
Look how much lower that far away hoof is. So there'll be no pressure on this part here. Now on to this back foot.
Cows' feet mirror each other. When there's a problem with one of our hoofs, it's very often the case that there's a problem with one of the other three, which is why it's so important for us to trim all 4 feet on every single cow. This cow had a slight white line defect on the first foot that we trimmed, and now if you look here on her back right foot, she also has a white line defect. It's not to the same extent, but it is the very start of one.
See, we keep this as high as we can by not touching it. If we'd reduced that inside claw, we'd have had to reduce this even more to get them 50-50 weight bearing. That means balanced. On to the back left.
Trimming these cows today has been the very definition of routine or maintenance trimming. We've not been fixing many problems at all. This cow here has overgrown feet. She had a couple of small issues, and now we've alleviated those pressures on her hooves. So hopefully she won't suffer from any lameness whatsoever, and then again in 5 months' time we'll pick her feet up again, just to give them once over, and again make sure that she doesn't suffer from any discomfort and can perform to the best of her abilities in great comfort and a new set of shoes.
Last one of the day.
Sorry to sound like a broken record, but here again we have a slightly overgrown foot with a couple of slight issues which will benefit massively from this routine or maintenance trim.
Glorious, glorious. It could be glorious, glorious. Glorious, glorious.
Maybe look terrible to get. Say that again. It maybe looked terrible to begin with. It's cleaned up just nicely, hasn't it? Get rid of this crack so it doesn't continue any further. Double check that, which I'm pretty sure will be nothing. Done.
And that, folks, brings us to the end of our working day. But it's just the start of the future for the boys here at Ratcha. Their new parlour and new setup is fantastic, and it should see them right for many, many happy years of milking to come. And I can say for absolute certainty, the cows will benefit probably almost as much as the boys here at Ratcha do. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time on the Hoof GP.